the today topic is Python output variables. So what are the Python output variables? As we have already discussed that the print function is often used for output variables. So for checking out that, if you have any variable like x or y like this one, and if you need an output out of while using your variables, which is called Python output variable, is our print. So if you put print x, then it will give us the result of Python is awesome. And if we put y, then it will give us the output of 23. So this is how Python output variables work. Means we are outputting some values using Python function, and the function is displaying the values of the variable. So this is how Python output works, and you can see out while using multiple variables. So if you have three variables x, y, and z, and you want to get output in one function of print, then you have to separate them by using comma. And yeah, that's how you can see the result of how different variables can be displayed using one print function, and it's called Python output variables. Means you are using variables and you are using output function, which is print, and while using these both you can print any variable on the screen without mentioning whole value in the print function. You are just using the variables names to output any particular variable. So we will see output of Python is awesome in the output because we are separating them. That's why it will be in same line for us. If we click on this, it's not showing the result. I think it's loading. It's actually working. So let's see. It's taking time, however, it should not take lots of time like this. If we gonna use this one to just see the result instead of, oh my god, I have done something wrong. I need the previous tab where we are learning Python, and we don't need this one, we need this one. And if we see the result, then you can see that Python is all awesome is our output. So here how you can use this to print out any variable using print function. So it is that simple. In the print function, you output multiple variables separated by comma. And you can also use the plus operator to output multiple variables. If you put plus between these variables to output all in one, then you can also do that. Instead of using comma, you can use plus operator to print all the values in same line. So it will be having output like this. For now my internet is slow, that's why it's taking too much time. That's why I'm displaying here. There you can see that it is having same output in one line. However, we have multiple variables and we just put plus icon plus operator, which is combining these three strings in one sentence. So this way you can also use multiple variable to combine in a single print function. So yeah, that's so we have to note down one thing, that space character after Python is without them the result will be Python is awesome. Like uh, if we remove the space which we have here and here, then what will be the output? I think the output will be merge of these words, which is not able to understand, and it's taking lots of time to run. That's why I'm directly telling you what will be happen If you remove the space after Python and is as we have removed, then the answer will be something like merge of each word. Like Python is awesome is mixed now. So for the number, the plus character works as a mathematical operator. So it doesn't I apply the mathematical rule on string, means if you plus these strings then there will be no calculation, there is just appending them with each other, like it's appending Python with is and awesome, which doesn't have any calculation, but they are merging now as a sentence. These are different words which are merging using operators plus operator. But in number the case is different. If you put any operator between two variables which contain numbers, then it will calculate using the mathematical rule where we add any number using plus operator. If you put minus, then it will subtract the value x, y from x. So in numbers, you have to remember that you should know what will be happening if you put in any variable which contain numbers. So if you put minus, then you will see it is subtracting from the value x the value y. So keep in mind that while using the plus operator, you should consider only put it between strings to have uh, to append the strings with each other. But when you are using with variables which contain numbers, it will automatically calculating the stuff. So it is a bad practice if you are doing something like this, like you are adding a number with a string, which a variable which contain a number and a variable which contain a string. If you use a plus operator to merge them, then it is a very bad practice and it will throw a error in your Python program, because only string can be added with a string uh, and a number can be added with a number. If the data type is different, there will be an error. So you keep in mind, you should only use plus minus operators in the same data type they possess. If two variables possess same data types, then your operators will work. If you are using different data type in different variables, then it will not work and it will throw an error. As we had it is discussed in the print function, when you try to combine a string and a number with a plus operator, Python will give you an error. So the best practice to output multiple variables in the print function is to separate them with commas, and which even support different data types. So if you want to get an output of different variables in same print, then you should put comma instead of putting plus icon, plus operator, because different variables which contains different data type can be print in single line if they are separated by a comma instead of plus operator, which will show us an error and it will never be run. So keep in mind while using when you should use comma and when should you use plus operators. So this section was all about output variables. Now let's move on towards next topic, which is global variables. So as we can understand, global means global, universal, means it will be a standard stuff. So global variables are the created outside of the function, as we doesn't have learned function yet, but let's learn it in a short time period so we can just get better understanding of how Python works. But we will be discussing function in depth in coming up sections. So just for your understanding, you can see that we have a variable and which contain awesome, and this is the syntax. This is how we write a function in Python. We have to declare a function by using def, and this is the variable, this is the function name which can be changed like whatsoever we want to use we can, as we can use any name for our variable. We can give any name to our function, like new function. If you use this, it will also applicable, but only declaring a function is not enough. Like we have a variable, so it will not have any output if we don't print it, right? So in function, if you are creating a function, then it is a declaration or initialization of a function. It will never run until you put the name of the function in the bottom and call it. It needs call. Calls means it will be run if you call it in below, just its name and the brackets. If we do that, then it will automatically work. So here we have used something wrong, but still it should work. Maintenance is little more slow, so that is making very much issue. You can see that changing a variable name, which is nonsense for now, making nonsense, but just for understanding, if we change the name of a variable, the value doesn't get any effect. But if we don't call a function, then there will be no output, as we only have declared a variable. If we don't printing it, it doesn't have any output. Exactly same, if we declare a function, we also have to call it. And however, we have created a print function, it will only function when we call the function. If we are not calling the function, the print function in the function will doesn't work. So you can see that if we give a variable name here outside of the function and printing that, let's have the default, try out the default one, because the second one is taking too much time. Just for understanding, you can see that if we have a variable which contain awesome, and if we have a function in which we calling the variable, and if we get the output of the function, then it is containing the variable value from out of the function. If we want to have the value different in the function, you can do that exactly, because it's allow you can have different value for the same variable in different function. It is a global function. A global variable means it will be only running uh, if you don't have any similar variable until you change a different better, like this. If you have a variable inside your function, it is limited. Now your variable which is out of the function, it will doesn't work. You can see that we have put it x, and here is x value is awesome, but in function we give the x value is equal to better. Now the x value is getting the value of better which is in the function. So for fixing out this, we have a global variable. What it will do, it will make our life easier. How? Because the global variable, what it does, if you don't have any variable out of the function, and you only have a variable inside the function, okay, if you have a variable only inside the function and you want to run it out of the function also, it is no more and variable dependent on function. It is now called out of the function also. Now the function only declaring a variable, but our output is in out of the function, and the value of x is coming from the function. If you want to get better understanding how what is happening, then if we just remove this, then you can better understand what is happening. It will display an error because our variables are limited to our function. It is under the scope of function. You cannot call a variable out of the function until it's global. So we can have the understanding of how to comment a thing. So just for your understanding, we just have to comment one thing, and now you can see that this is a global variable which will cannot be override using any variable in our function. Like we have better, and for now this instance it's not a global variable. So global variable, for declaring global variable we have to put global and x, which will make this variable global. For now we are commenting this means it will be not executing. So what is happening if we run this, then it will display Python is better. However, we have fantastic in the function, and due to it's not a global variable, it's this x value is coming from the value from out of the function. If we want to make the variable inside the function as a global, then we just have to make it global x, and whenever we call the x, it will contain the value of the this global function. Now, no any other value can override the value of x because this is now a standard global variable, and it can be called from any value in your code base, and it will contain the value exactly as you have given here, which is fantastic. So this is the way you can use global variables. So for better understanding, we can move forward and learn few more things about global variable. Also use the global keyword if you want to change the global variable inside a function, as we have done before. To change the value of global variable inside a function, refer to the variable by using global keyword. We have already done that, in which we have used this variable, and if we're running this, what will be happening? Due to declaration of global variable, now our Python is the x will be value is coming from the variable here, and now it will call us Python is fantastic instead of Python is awesome, because this variable is not global because it's not declared by using global, and instead we have declared this one as global, which is inside the scope, but due to the global keyword it's become global. So if you want to try out the exercise given in this particular section, you can also do that. It will make your understanding better. So let's solve this minor question where we have to give the same answer as we have done before. So x is equal to awesome. So we have a function, and a function containing a variable same as it is we have out of the function, and it contain different value. Fantastic. It's not a global variable. You can see that there is no global keyword is mentioned. So what it will do, it is inside the scope, so our code base will not get value from any function, and it will be picking the value from the out of the function, which is awesome. So the Python is awesome, and the answer is Python is awesome should be correct. Is, yeah, you can see that. So this is how global variables work. Now let's move on towards having a Python variable exercise. Let's it do or not. Let's do it and get better understanding how these are working, so you can better understand how Python variables work. What is the correct way to declare a Python variable? We doesn't need to declare the data type, any declaration keyword, etc. We just have to put the variable name and we can declare the value. And if we move on, then you can declare a string variable with single or double quotes. X is equal to John and X is equal to John is the same as true because single and double quotes are same in Python. Variable name are not case sensitive. A is equal to 5 is the same. No. If you have different cases capitalized and smaller, then the variables are totally different. It's just same like you have two brothers which names are Ali. Both names are Ali, but one Ali is smaller and one Ali is capital. Is it equal to each other? However, their names are same. It doesn't mean they are equal. Their sizes are different, so they are different variables. So select the correct function to print the data type of the variable. So for printing, we need a print. Then for type, we can use type the proper spelling type. It will give the data type of our variable. So we have done this variable section and we can move on towards variable names. So after doing this exercise, we will get better understanding how these Python variables work and it will also boost your knowledge about Python. Python variables names, which is not legal variable name. So when we put any minus between any word in our variable, it's not allowed and it's illegal. All of the other are very applicable because underscore before any word is applicable, capitalized word is applicable, and underscore between the word is applicable, but putting minus between words are not applicable in Python. It will show an error because Python think that you are subtracting between the words. So create a variable name car name and assign the value of Volvo. So for car name, we just have to put car name, and for declaring a variable, we have to assign with Volvo and just single quote or double quote. Just see the answer. You can see we have double quote, and if you put single quote, it's also applicable. So always save a string using single or double quotes. Without that, it will display an error to you. So internet is too much slow and you can see that we have to declare a variable name x and which will contain a value of 50. So 50 is a number we have to put without it any inverted comma because number doesn't need inverted commas in Python. So now let's do multiple variables values. So what is the correct sentence to add the value hello world to variables in one statement? You can use this because if you put this, it means you have three different variables which can contain three different values. So we should put three more values and only one value. So if you are declaring one value for each which are same, so you can put is equal to between these variable and ultimately is equal to with the value. So the each value will contain same variable will contain same values. Let's move on towards next thing. It's taking a lots of time. So I can do a lots of more exercises because I know how to do that and I have done. So these are the remaining ones for you. If you stuck anywhere, you can comment below and I will be solving the question. But for the best practice, you should go for the exercise by yourself without watching any tutorial. And you are able to solve this if you are following with me. And I have already teach you enough that will lead you to complete this stuff. So we have to move forward very fast. We have to achieve this tomorrow. So it will complete. The operator should be complete by tomorrow. So we have to move forward very fast. There are a lots of stuff to cover. So the last thing in the variables section, now the internet is gone. Thanks a lot, and I think I will be completing this section coming up section. Thank you for watching. We will meet in the next section.